Hey everyone, in this episode we're going to talk about Ocean's 8. We're going to look at the characters, the performances, the heist itself, and all the twists. All that and more in episode 48 of the Reel-ists podcast. Welcome, listeners. I'm Oscar.
I'm Donnie.
And we have our producer, Ruben, here to our left. Or Donnie's
funny,
right.
Ruben? Huh? Is that something funny?
Yeah, he's like, I'm Donnie.
It's like a commercial.
I did not say it like that.
It's like, I'm a Mac.
Hey, guys, I'm Donnie.
That? Do you remember that commercials? I'm a Mac, I'm a PC.
Oh, yeah. With your boy. The Flash.
No,
that wasn't him.
No, he was...
I'm getting him confused
He
with
was in,
someone else.
what was it, like...
Jeepers Creepers.
No, he was like one with Queen Latifah, like a taxi...
Taxi driver?
Was it taxi?
Taxi,
driver? Something like that. No,
taxi.
not taxi driver. Yeah, taxi. I think it was just taxi. Something like that. But no, he was not. He was not Greg.
But you know who I'm talking about? Don't they kind of
look... Jeepers Creepers, yeah, as you
right,
said.
but
yes.
don't they... I always get them confused.
No, I don't. I do not.
No, I always get them confused.
Oh.
I
thought you were asking me if
I'm saying, like, can't you see why I get them confused?
A little bit. A little bit.
Moving on.
But that's what I wanted to talk about for this episode. What are you talking about? They do not, or they totally do. But yes, thank you everyone for joining us. As always, we really do appreciate it. If you haven't had the chance to do so, we definitely encourage you to let us know about what you think about our podcast. Any feedback is greatly appreciated on any social media, on YouTube, or if you listen through us on iTunes. We'd appreciate just hearing some thoughts, what you want to hear from us, what you want to not hear from us. Like, I don't want to hear your voices. That's going to be the response.
Dang. I don't want to hear you guys. Stop.
But yes, we would appreciate any of that. And we always just want to say thank you for tuning into this episode and any of our previous episodes. It really means a lot to us. So we're just happy to...
Yeah, we really appreciate it, guys.
Happy to have
really
just to
do.
listen. So yes, before we go into Ocean's 8, we do want to just mention this is a spoiler movie, or a spoiler review movie. So if you haven't seen it, don't listen to us. Like, put us on volume 0, let it play out, go watch it, and then come back and turn up your volume and listen to us review the movie. And just as a refresher, we are the Reel-ists podcast, where we want to talk about movies and certain scenes or aspects of films in a realistic manner. I know I'm butchering that, but I just try to bring it back up just in case you're a first-time listener. We never know. Would that be nice if they let us know if they're a first-time listener?
That would be.
Definitely.
If you're a first-time listener, please let us know.
Yeah, then we just want to know if we're getting any new ears. Twitter, social media, Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. Any of those would be a great way to just say first-time listener. You never know. We never know, I guess. But yes, Ocean's 8. So
I just want to say I found a tweet and it says Ezra Miller is the young Justin Long.
Is that's guy's name?
That's the guy from Jeepers Creepers.
I could see Ezra Miller more so than Grant Gustin.
Also, no, I have to pull it up. You know who either of those are?
I feel like
Ezra Miller, Flash, The Perks of Being... Wait,
just-
is that the Flash you were talking about?
Yeah.
I was talking about the TV Flash.
No, I'm talking
That's
about...
what I was like, no.
No, I'm talking about Ezra Miller.
Oh, I could see it
Justin
now.
Long.
Now
Like,
I
a
could-
little
yes,
bit,
Now I could see
like
it
if they
more
both...
so.
Because they both have had like that, kind of short, dark hair. And...
Oh, yeah, that's the two people I was thinking of, too.
Yeah, see, okay.
I'm like, he's probably talking about that.
Yeah, see, I'm not the
I was
only
thinking
one.
Grant Gustin you were talking about.
No, just
So right now he's still my Flash. That's why I was...
Okay, all right, fair enough. Okay, sorry, I should have clarified.
Yeah, but everyone's like...
We should just do like a doppelganger episode where we like talk about like we were talking about Ed Hardy and John. I'm gonna mess his name up.
It was something green. I know.
Jonathan Marshall Green. I think?
Yes. Sure.
That might not be it, but we'll clarify that. Anyway, sorry to interrupt. Go
Wasn't
ahead.
it Logan? Was it Logan?
Oh yeah, wasn't it like? Let me look it up just because he might be listening and be like, "That is not my name. You don't know what you're talking about."
You got this, Donnie. You can find this info.
I got it.
I know it has green in it.
Yeah, Logan Marshall Green.
Okay.
I said Jonathan Marshall. Logan Marshall
Sure.
Green. Okay. That's enough out of me. Go ahead, Oscar. Take it
All
away.
right. So, yes, Ocean's 8. So, if you're aware of the franchise, this is, I guess you want to say,
Like a spinoff?
a reboot spinoff The second, third. It's the third attempt of this franchise.
It's the fourth.
Fourth.
Yes.
Dang, I skipped one of the originals. I thought I.
Well, Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, Ocean's
No.
13.
I'm talking about like so. Ocean that trilogy was the first remake. So there was another one before this Ocean's 11 franchise. So
there was a remake of Ocean's 11?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So like there was like one in like the 19. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Oh,
Yeah.
like Ocean's 11 was not like the 1999 one was not the original one. Or
Right.
whatever.
Like
Gotcha.
like the second.
Okay, yes. So you're
to bring
right.
that kind of franchise
Yes, it is
back.
the third attempt at this franchise. You are absolutely correct.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
That's what I
Love
was-
it. That's what I want to hear.
Glad you guys got that. But yes, so this is one. This is very similar to the other ones. If you've seen the other ones, you get the idea of what's going on. But essentially, it's a big heist that needs a group of people to be getting their can't even talk now. No, I'm not. I'm the one that can't talk. Group of people that are needed to get the job done to pull off the big heist. So that's what the movie starring Sandra.
Whoa. Put your names over here.
You started the trend.
I know. Sorry.
Sandra Bullock and Rihanna and Mindy Kaling and Kate Blanchett. See, I was gonna
And Sarah Paulson.
Yes.
And Awkwafina.
Yes.
And Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway.
Can't forget Anne
Yep.
Hathaway. I feel like we're forgetting someone, but maybe not.
Out of that list.
Helena Bonham
James
Bonham
Corden.
Carter. Helena, what's her name? What's that middle name?
I always forget.
Helena something Carter. Helena Bonham Carter.
Who is that?
The fashion designer.
Ah. Well, that just shows that my
Who
awareness,
is that?
my awareness of the actress, if I if I didn't even know. But enough of us trying to
Yeah, Helena Bonham Carter.
shout out the cast. We'll just say it's a great cast of talented women and
Yeah.
talented stars. Donnie, what are your thoughts of watching Ocean's 8? Mind you, actually, let me just say this before you start. We have not seen any of the Oceans before this one.
We
so
have not.
If
We have
you're
not seen.
expecting a comparison, you're not going to get
You're
one.
not going to get that
Not
because we
in
don't
this
know.
one. I did purchase Ocean's 11 afterwards.
I know.
But that's a different story. But yes, go ahead.
I saw some recent purchases. The Witch. I was like, whoa.
It was a horror sale.
I know. I was like, you got Sinister. I'm like, okay, he's getting out of control now. He knows how I feel about that one. Ocean's 8, man, I was down for it. I liked it. I loved it. I'm kind of like, don't want to say too much because Ruben's gonna be sitting here judging me. Because
Nah, wow. I'm not even gonna say anything.
you're just gonna give me looks
Yeah.
and roll his eyes and.
Okay.
I really was into it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was such a fun ride. It was so enjoyable, fun to watch. You know it's a heist film, but at the same time, it's also like a comedy, and it's not like, when we're talking heist films, like for instance, we saw Den of Thieves, where, it was a drama and it was going to be gritty and there was going to be, a lot of language and a lot of, probably some blood and some gunshot wounds and, that kind of heist film. And, we didn't know if people were going to die, people were going to live, the cops were going to catch the bad guys. With this film, it's a little more polished, and the way they market it, you could tell they want to try to appease the masses, and they want everyone to see this film,
Yes.
and it was, so, like, people aren't going to, you don't think at least, spoiler alert, you already did that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you don't think people are going to die, and nobody does. Thankfully, nobody gets shot, and like the cops bust in and there's like a shootout or anything. It's just a fun, wholesome film. And even the whole cast, they're, I guess, quote unquote criminals because they're trying to pull off this heist and steal this really expensive piece of jewelry. But like, you're rooting for them because you like them. I liked all of the characters. Thought they were fun. They were quirky. Some of them.
Yeah, none of them felt
It's
like.
not like
or I think Sandra Bullock's character is the only one that felt like intentionally evil, so to speak.
Right.
Because she was the one that came up with the plan and was like, I want to do this. I have no other thing else to do, kind of thing.
But it's still like, it's Sandra Bullock,
She
so
would be
it's
the
like
one-
she's still likable.
Right.
know?
No. Yes. No. I'm not saying she's not likable. But I'm saying like she might be the closest to like classifying it as a villain, so to speak, because she's like the one that has the intention to do this. Everyone else is just like
kind of
I have
just
nothing
along for the
else,
ride. Yeah.
the gains are better than, or worth the risk kind of mentality. But yeah, no, I'm very much with you. The way it's marketed is exactly what you're getting. You're getting just a popcorn flick of watching a heist go down, and it's not trying to test your knowledge of like what security systems are up, out there, or how to hack, the World Wide Web or anything. It's just a straight up, a movie about wanting to do a heist and making it grand, this grand scheme. Like, as you were saying, like Den of Thieves, like that one tag that, LA gets,
the crime or the bank robbing capital of the world every 10 seconds.
Yeah, something like that.
And it opens you up in such a dramatic note.
It felt like for this one, it was like one of those just this like fantasy, to some speak. Like I'm very sure you don't go in at the end of the movie saying we can pull that off. Like, oh, it's so easy to steal something. Let's do it, Donnie. Let's go steal something at Costco right now.
Right.
But you still enjoy it because you know that it's just one to sit back and not think about.
Right.
It's not. Yeah, it's
you
not.
You don't have to super focus in on anything or like really pay attention to
which could be a down thing too for those that want.
Yeah, I mean, some people don't want to go and just mindlessly watch a film. Not saying that it's like you have to like any like a stupid person can go watch this movie or anything, but it's just like a fun film.
Yeah.
Not every and it's a summer film. It's like. We're not really like...
In the same way you go watch an action movie, you go watch Transformers, you go watch, smashing
go
things.
Go watch a rock movie.
I was going to say, I was like, you would go watch like a Pebble, like...
Dwayne The Rock Johnson movie, let me clarify.
The way you would go watch a rock on the movie.
Or the way you would even go watch like a Pixar movie. Like, it's just going to be like a feel-good, like fun ride,
Ooh, Pixar. I like where you're going.
Speaking
sneak
of.
peek. Yeah, sneak peek. Look at you planning Easter eggs now in our podcast. But yes, absolutely. And I think that's going into that. If you're okay with that, you probably will enjoy this film. If you wanted to and I'm just going based off like reviews and what other people have said. If you're trying to like see something top Oceans, the Oceans trilogy from the last with George Clooney, you may come off disappointed as well. But it just depends on what your mindset going into it is. Yep. Mine was very similar to yours, where it's just like, let's have some fun. Let's see where this goes. I wasn't expecting...
See if they pull it off.
I wasn't expecting like, gunshot showdown or, any of those. It was very just simple of like, they either get away with it or they get caught, but they slip away because someone breaks them out at the end. That kind of common cliche heist. But yeah, so with that being said, it is a cast full of known stars, known celebrities. Was there one that surprised you? I would say not the one that you stood out the most, because I think that one could be a little bit obvious, but one that surprised you, one that you're like, all right, I didn't expect this delivery from you, or in that kind of anyone that you would say is like you went in like thinking much, but you came out it's like, I see what you did there. I like your performance. Because I have one, so if I may,
can you go?
Rihanna. I did not expect Rihanna to have a good performance in the sense of what she was doing.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this doesn't make me think that she's a great actress in that sense, but I went in there thinking she was going to have minimal like lines or minimal impact. I thought she was just going to be like there for like, one of the like a distraction, like, oh, we need you to just go and do this little scene that's very crucial to this heist. But no, she did play a part in hacking a computer and all that. I don't know, maybe if it's the technology side that I was like, whoa, you do know your stuff, Rihanna.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was that, but she definitely surprised me.
No, she definitely had she had more lines than I thought she would. Like, I didn't think I thought she was going to have like the least amount of lines.
Yeah, exactly.
And it wasn't going to really, they just needed, not saying they just needed like a big name, because the movie was full of like names, but like.
But that's what the Oceans franchise is known for.
Yeah.
It is known for that kind of like bringing
star power, ensemble cast.
And seeing them interact.
Yeah.
I will say, like, to me, I thought Mindy Kaling's character was going to have more lines, because she has lines in I don't even think Rihanna has much lines in the trailer, but Mindy Kaling has a few, but those are literally, like, almost the like, amount she gets in the movie.
There's just so many, like, stars, I guess, so it's, like, it's kind of hard, and Ruben was kind of telling us this, but, like, that's, I guess, could be one of the drawbacks to the film, is you don't really get an in-depth, like, you don't really get to know these characters that well, because it's like there's so many of them, and basically like the movie is occupied with them doing like playing their role to get this to pull off this heist.
Yes, and
so
like
I guess if you're looking for like
and those actual heists, so you don't really get a chance to know them.
Yeah,
that's not to say if there's a second one, Ocean's 9, it has to be Ocean's 9. Right. Can't do it. They can't talk.
It would have to be Ocean's 9 and then 10 and then
Well, no, because the third, it's
Never
yeah.
mind.
I don't know why they chose 8 aside from those 8 of them. Was there or 11?
Is there 8 of them?
Yeah, I thought that's why it was called Ocean's 8.
Alright, that's how it ended up being at the end.
It was 8 of them, right?
Yeah, because Anne Hathaway made it 8. I counted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See.
After she came, I'm like, oh, there's the 8.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So where did? Okay, got it.
So now I'm like, dang, was there 11 in the first one, 12 in the second one? Now I'm like thinking about those. But yeah, so it's exactly that kind of thing where it's like there's a lot that had to be done. So yeah, you weren't gonna get exactly what you wanted. How long was this movie?
It wasn't long, right?
Because I feel like I mean, if it would have gone the long route, then you probably would have felt like it took too long to do the heist. Like exactly like Den of Thieves, where it was like the entire first half was
Now we're 50.
yeah. So it was like.
Not bad.
I think Den of Thieves was a little bit longer than that, but Den of Thieves, just a comparison. This is what we can compare it to.
I know, right?
It was
Another heist
the
film.
first half was all building up the character, and the second half was the heist.
And I remember we talked about it. Like the heist was a big part of the we
Enjoyed
we were
that.
expecting like a little like 15-minute heist scene
Yes.
or something, and it was a long scene. Like it was a chunk of the movie.
Yeah, and for this one, the heist was a good third of it. Yeah, it wasn't just the third act, but it was a good third of the movie.
Yeah.
So that was what I think.
And the heist itself,
it.
I mean, like I was I know some people may not think like it was much or whatever,
or it would
but-
go that way and all that stuff.
But
All those-
but I mean I mean some people, you know, everyone's gonna have their own entitled to their own opinion, but I really was into it. Like I thought it was really like clever and you know, Sandra Bullock's character, like she said, she had all that time to think about it and plan it out. And I thought to see it executed was the fun part too, because it's when like you knew what their roles were and you kind of knew like how it was supposed to go.
Yes.
And then as you were seeing it played out, like the whole time I was just like, please, like everyone do their role, everyone play their part, everyone like do what they're supposed to do. Don't let any hiccups interrupt this, you know, or anything like that. Like let it just play out so they can get away with it. Please, please, please. So like the whole time I was like rooting for them, you know, and or even when like there was like something that was stalling or something that didn't go exactly to plan, and I would be like, no, like, and I would like get a little frustrated, like, no, you know, but I was really just hoping that they could pull it off, man.
Yeah, I think you just wanted to see it pull off, like to have it be stopped and stuff. It's what probably happens in a common heist, like where it doesn't succeed, where the cops still get you, kind of thing. So this was a nice change of pace. I will say, yeah, that was different.
I think too, like the reason, like one of the reasons why I was so rooting for it, and I didn't feel like it was. I mean, I know they were stealing something, and like it's bad, but like I guess I kind of justify it because I'm like, well, they're stealing from Cartier, I guess, but it's not like this is someone's like possession, like it's like it belongs to a company. So I was like, you know, and they just hide it they keep it under a vault, you know. So it's like, you know, what's the harm? What's the harm in taking it? No, I mean, I wouldn't do that in real life or anything. You know, it's bad. Stealing is bad, but
no, and I will say, I did feel like the heist did have a lot of like, of course that, you know, it goes your way, or of course, you know, no one decides to question how did you find it in the water, kind of thing. Like, you know, there's like that thing where it just happens to be James Corden's character that comes in after the heist. That part I did not like, I will say. He threw me off. I felt like we started to watch a skit from his late show. Like I felt like we were watching.
I just felt like
him.
he just came out of nowhere. And
yeah,
we were already about to wrap things up. So I feel like he just came too late in the film. Like it'd be one thing if they kind of showed a scene here or there of him, like, you know, maybe getting like, I don't know, like maybe showing us what his actual job is, not related to this heist, but like maybe on another case,
right?
Or
because
something.
he knew Sandra Bullock's character, so it would have been nice if he would have been like, "Oh, she's out. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna
keep an eye on her. You know, something that would have tied that together a little more, and it would have made more sense." But yeah, I did get that. Like it came really late. I was like, dude, like I feel like the film, like we already got this was my thing. I was like, we got away with it. We pulled it off. So don't try to come now and be like trying to be Detective Gadget. or Inspector Gadget, I mean, Detective Gadget, you know, and try to like, you know, like crack this case, like just let it be, you know. So I just that was like the biggest reason why I was like annoyed with it. Not with him, the actor James Corden, because he's great and so funny and he's awesome. And he did good in the film. It's just the character, like you said, they could have like, you know, like maybe foreshadowed him a little more. Used like put him in a scene.
I thought that would have been, yeah. I just felt like his presence in the movie. I understand they were like, well, maybe, you know, they got away with it that night of, but they can always get caught. I see what they were trying to go with that. But I don't know if maybe they shouldn't have brought in someone like him, kind of like his kind of, you know, star power.
Comedic,
yeah, because at that point I really was.
Because I didn't really feel, even when he came, I was like,
have you seen? I don't know if you've seen his like YouTube clips of his like show. But he does a lot of things where he, you know, like he puts himself in like, you know, a movie, or he, you know, reenacts a scene with the celebrities that he has and stuff like that. It almost felt like that. And like Ellen does it too, where like they kind of put themselves in the movie, quote unquote, and they do like, you know, it's more funny than it should have been kind of thing. But yeah, so that's what it felt like. It just felt like an extended skit that if you remove it, you still get your movie.
Right.
The only difference is that this was a little bit helpful in pinning it down to her ex, Sandra Bullock's character's ex, what is her name? I know Danny was the brother because that's from the previous. What was the character's name?
Our producer's looking it up.
We're getting on that because I just feel like saying Sandra Bullock's character. Like,
I know.
I feel like she paid us to say her name, not the characters.
Debbie Ocean.
Debbie Ocean. But yeah, so I feel like Debbie. I mean, I don't know, that last part was one that I was just like, as you said, the heist over. Like let's see what. Of course, let's do the cliche. You know, they're gonna do something nice with it. And speaking of which, that actually leads me to say I was actually surprised at what they did with their money.
Like in the end,
like none of them did like a too over the top, like, oh, I bought my own company kind of thing. Like they did reasonable
Sarah Paulson
things.
started her own company, I think, right?
Was it hers? Yeah, maybe.
Like that's what it looked like. Like she started her own company,
but it was like something of what she was doing. It wasn't like she just bought Google or something like that. It was like
right.
She was already doing some kind of like scalping kind of career.
She was like.
She was a scalper. I'm not even saying the word right.
Scalper. Yeah.
There you go.
So like what? So like she was. So she would sell it too?
Yeah, she would get the stuff,
like steal the items and then sell
at a high value.
Which I didn't expect from the trailer. It seemed like she was just like this wholesome mom who like kind of left that life of crime behind. That's what I thought was going to happen. So to see that she still was kind of in crime,
in home,
I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. I will say, not that it like deterred me or like turned me off.
I found her story fun. Like her going into the job. I wish I could just go to any job and just like take the position and
right.
Like that sounds awesome.
Cause she's like got on the inside.
Yeah, like and so smoothly. I mean, like they didn't make it seem like she almost like didn't get the job. Like she just got an interview. How did she get the interview? Did she? You know, that's.
Yeah, I mean that's the movie convenience, I guess. Like,
that's that. Yeah, that's that plot convenience. It's like, oh, here I am applying for something.
I mean, hey, listen, a lot of things had to go smoothly for this thing to be pulled off. Like, I know we could argue, like, oh, like, I mean, because there were even a couple things when I was watching it, I was like, for instance, when I don't know her character's name, but when Aquafina went in the bathroom and she went and locked all the stalls and she only left one open, like, how did we know? Like, so let's say she was going to go lock all the stalls. What if someone was occupying one of the stalls right then and there? So then, like, would that have been the default stall to leave open?
Yeah.
Or, like, you know, I don't know. Just little things that, like, I did question, too. I was like, or when Sarah Paulson did pull the fake necklace out of the water, and I'm like, wouldn't they look at security footage and watch, like, when Anne Hathaway ran from the table to the bathroom?
Yep.
I was thinking about the weight, too.
When
because everybody was saying it was 6 pounds. I'm like, if that's fake, how would you guarantee that that's 6 pounds?
Yeah.
And if those guys were security, they would know what it felt like.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's where we are. We're the Reel-ists podcast.
Yeah, you know.
We're not at this point. We're not criticizing the film. We're telling.
Yeah, I mean, just if this were to go down in real life, this is like, you know.
This is exactly, yeah. This is at this point. This is not a critique. If those listening, we're not. Unless you want to use this as a critique, because I know some people are like, that realistically can't happen.
Yeah.
Our reviews are not necessarily solely based on what can really happen. but we love to talk about what can't really happen.
Oh yeah. Always.
Yeah, I mean, and like to me, it had a lot of those things where it's just like, okay, sure, we'll say it happens to go that way. Like the intro with that department store.
Loved it.
Oh,
Loved it.
Oh my gosh. I felt like there was
I didn't know what she was doing after. Like I when she was grabbing the items, I was like,
I thought she was gonna buy it.
I thought she was just gonna steal them.
I thought she was gonna buy it.
But the whole
That was smart.
that was very clever. Like I was like, oh, love it.
I really want to know who had that same thought of like, okay, I want to try that just for a second.
I'll try it in a few years once this dies down, once the film dies down and nobody remembers
right now,
it.
like Macy's and JCPenney's are like,
they're like showing this as like a training tool.
Right.
I even thought about that too. I'm like, can you do that? I'm like, how do people not catch you? Because it's true, there's no sensors or anything.
Right.
I even thought, I'm like, whoever thought of that scene
Has done it.
Yeah.
Someone's
But
done
then
it.
once again, I'm too paranoid because I'm thinking like everything is recorded, like, you know, security footage. Like they would
they
see
don't go-
me.
That's true.
But they wouldn't go look into it unless you did something.
Unless like, yeah, no, for sure. But I'm just saying, if like me personally, I'm
Right.
so
I see.
paranoid. I'd be like, they're gonna catch me.
That was really
That was great. I loved it.
just the whole like, I want to return this.
And she just was sold it. Like she was like 100% like sold it.
Yeah.
She was like,
Give me
even
a
like
bag.
when she was annoyed, she was like, well, can I at least have a bag? Like just completely was into it.
The one that wasn't as believable was the hotel. The
Yeah, that's we talked about that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, they would have asked for her to confirm the last 4 digits of the card they used or something like that. They wouldn't have just been like, oh sure, we'll charge you another night. Like,
yeah, I worked at a hotel and I know it wouldn't be that easy.
yeah, that was so that is one scene where I was like, that wouldn't happen.
That wouldn't happen. Yeah.
That wouldn't happen. But
I
I
appreciate
went
that.
along with it. Like, why
Yeah.
not?
What I did believe was with the whole like the janitor, or not the janitor, the housekeeper being in the room cleaning, and then she's like, oh, can you just come back later? And then, you know, the housekeeper's like, sure. That I believe can happen.
Right.
More so
The
than
housekeeper's not going to be like, no, I'm cleaning this room. Like they wouldn't say.
that too, and also like being able to be in the room, but like getting it to extend a night so you can stay there is what I'd be like.
Did she tell her to be in the room so she could get inside?
Yeah, because she called. Yeah, she called and said, oh, can you just get the housekeeper to clean up, blah, blah, blah.
So basically she couldn't leave the rest of the night or else she would lock herself out.
Right.
Unless they did like the latch thing, if that hotel had that.
I'm sure it does. Is that a common?
Well, technically they would give you new keys anyways because your old keys would be deactivated. Just
Yep.
saying.
Right. So see, there's another thing. Like so that just wouldn't happen then.
Yeah, no, it would happen.
But
Because then
you
she would have to go to the front desk.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless-
They'd be like, yeah, come down and get your keys at the front desk, and then.
Unless she said, oh, I'll come back later. I just have to go take care of something. And at that point, that employee leaves and someone else comes in.
Right. So then they wouldn't know. So I mean, yeah, maybe, but
We're here trying to make sure the heist, how the heist goes down. But yeah, no, the part, the hacking into the company, the security company's computer and being able to change that was one that was like another plot.
when Rihanna,
convenience.
yeah, when she like looked on the Facebook page of the guy you're talking
That
about,
I believe, yes, yeah,
that I
part.
didn't. That I'm like, okay, because let's say you did go on his Facebook page. Like, what if he didn't have like all of this puppy stuff? What if it was just normal stuff? Then you wouldn't know how to like hook him. Like,
Yep.
it was blatantly clear that he loved dogs, so like she was able to hook him. But like, I'm never on Facebook. I don't post that kind of stuff, so that wouldn't work on me. You know, or what if the guy was just that knowledgeable about like, you know, hackers and all that stuff and would know not to click on something like that? Then how would you hack into it? If he would have never clicked on that link, that fake
Right.
link that she sent,
She would never got in.
she wouldn't have gone in. So then what would have been her plan B?
I'm over here. I'm really now, for a second, I'm not going to lie. I did think, like, what would Donnie click on? What's an email Donnie would click on? I feel like one would be a Broadway. Maybe if like, it was like, you won 2 free tickets to see, you know, Aladdin again.
I mean, I'm pretty aware of like those kind of things. So I don't know if it would
What
have
if it
to
was
look
like, what if it was like an email from me? It was like, Donnie, guess what?
No, because I get emails from people all the time, and they're like, hey, it says that kind of stuff. Hey, guess what? Like Janae, I get emails from Janae, and Janae doesn't email me. Like, I know it's spam, or
That's true.
so no, I don't know. Are you trying to hack me, Oscar?
I'm just trying to think, like, what? Because you said that, and I mean, you don't have much on your profile to be like, oh, Donnie loves cats, so let's, you know, trick them with this. Like for me, I'm sure mine would be like a comic book kind of like trick.
Yeah.
Like, oh, click here to see the newest preview for the next issue or something like that. I'd be like, okay. But I'm trying to think what would be your click. That's funny.
I don't know. We can. I'll think about it and let you know.
Click here to see the cast of Aladdin coming out next year.
That might be.
Check out the trailer to Aladdin coming out in 2019.
Something Aladdin related, like because the film's about to come out. That might get me.
Like if it's like a generic like, oh, have you seen the latest
sneak
trailer?
peek at the
like, oh, like Disney sending
newest material, or original songs that they're gonna use in Aladdin or something.
Check out the first look at Aladdin and Jasmine together or something.
Yeah, and then maybe that would get me because I am excited about
maybe
that,
something that is
something that's like current,
that blends really well as a marketing rather than a personal.
Right.
Yeah, I could see that
for sure.
But yes, any other thing that stood out to you about this movie?
I really, really liked the whole twist with Anne Hathaway being a part of it. As soon as she walked into that whole like room that they were in,
the warehouse,
the warehouse that they were in,
yeah,
I thought that I was like, dang, the jig is up. She found out, so I got a little nervous. And then when Sandra Bullock and Cate Blanchett were like, we asked her to come, and then they showed us what happened and everything and how she got involved. I was like, I was really into it. I really liked it.
It was nice, yeah. I wouldn't say, because they made it seem like she caught on. I feel like her character wouldn't have caught on.
I don't think she would have caught on. I think it was more so their paranoia that she would or she might catch on.
Right.
It might
because they kind of justify when it's like she saw the camera being like taken. I was like, how do you know she was taking a picture? Like you would be so into yourself.
Right. She was very narcissistic and very
to really be observant
in her like star power that I don't think she was that aware, and I really don't think she would have caught on, but. It's fine because she was fine. She was fine with it, and they were able to use her
to sell
plant
go to the bathroom and say like I don't know what happened,
and then plant one of the pieces on on Debbie's ex-boyfriend.
Yes.
So I loved it. I was like yes. Obviously the other twist too, the fact that they robbed the whole thing, I was like dang.
Yeah, because I did have that thought too. I was like. Cate Blanchett's character was like not really in it. I felt like she was like not really in the heist, and I was like, why is she not really a part of it? She seemed like she was like the next person right after Sandra Bullock, right after Debbie, but then they showed like she was doing her own thing, and I was like, oh, that's nice. And then they brought in that other person,
that guy,
acrobat kind of guy, and I was like, well, is he a part of it? Is he getting a share of it? Like, can you trust him? Is he gonna go snitch and be like, they're the ones that did it?
Right.
Like, wow, yeah, I don't know. That was another like, I was like, oh, they just added someone else. Okay, Ocean's 9.
That's where I could see maybe it was like, all right, let's not get carried away here. like
everyone was included,
but James
Corden's character was included too.
I know, right? Everyone. But I really liked that Anne Hathaway. She was a part of it. I was like, yes, that's cool.
I could see that.
And then I was like, I even got a little nervous because I'm like, well, what if she's like double crossing them, and she's like, or what if the FBI is using her or something? But she was in it. Yeah. And I was like, nice.
And I did enjoy Anne Hathaway's performance as like that like star model and like narcissist, and having that like it's all about me.
Yeah. I did too.
I don't want her to have, the best of the best. I need to take. Yeah.
Right.
That was a fun performance to see.
It was. So I was into it. What was your favorite? What was your favorite part?
Oh, my favorite part. Good question. Thinking about the heist, I feel like to me, well, I don't even say my favorite part. I would say just the story of Sarah Paulson's character. And the whole like her getting the job and her like being able to be like the insider kind of thing, I really like enjoyed that. Mm-hmm. Just of the fantasy of just like, oh, let me just go work here and get this information. Like that, it's not gonna happen.
And it was just so like, readily available to her.
Like the fact that she,
so easily accessible.
Yes, yeah. It was just like I wish I could just do that. Sure, I would be at the top of my career if I was able to just smooth my way.
Yeah.
And like, she has that great ability to get a great job. Why does she need to do this like criminal stuff? If she
right.
Yeah, so
she can't help herself, I guess. Right.
She needs that like adrenaline rush. I don't know, but I thought that was cool that she just got in it and she was like able to be their like scout of like coming at 12 o'clock or dinner is setting. Start, go, do it now.
Right.
That was nice. Sandra Bullock, like during the heist, I was like, what are you doing there? Like at first I was like, oh, she's gonna have this like big like being dramatic or something, but she was like there to be there,
just so she can be on camera, so she can have an alibi, right? That was the whole thing, that she was she was blocking the women's room to make sure no one else went in, but to make sure she was on that security camera, so she had a solid alibi, because she would have been the first suspect because she just came out of jail for all that kind of crime. So
that was a very small like part of the heist. I think I could do that job. Donnie, I have to do is stand there and just stop people from going to the bathroom.
And when they try to convince you, just start talking heck of Spanish.
Italian. It was Italian, wasn't it?
German. She was speaking German. But I'm saying for you. Spanish. But yeah.
So this is our heist. This is actually everyone listening. If you're listening, you're part of the heist. Truth or dare space.
Oh my gosh. The police are listening.
But yeah, so with all that being said, what do you give this as your real score?
I am gonna give this a 4 out of 5 reels. I really, really enjoyed it. I really, there were some plot conveniences, obviously, and it was a summer popcorn flick. It wasn't like something like, it's not gonna sweep the Golden Globe Awards or the get Academy Award nominations. But you know what? It was fun. It was enjoyable. It was. I was in it. I was like, I felt like I was a part of it, and I was rooting for them the whole time. And I had said this on our kind of quick review, like, in some senses it was predictable, but it's what I wanted it to, like, it's what I wanted to happen is what happened. And I was glad that everyone kind of got a piece of the cut, and it was a fun film. It was fun. It was just a fun ride. It was like a fun summer film.
Yes.
That's all. I wish I had more to say about it, but I just really, really, really liked it.
Okay.
Really enjoyable.
Very similar. Mine's is a 3.5 out of 5. For very much the same reasons. I will say, to me, the being predictable and kind of plot convenience that occurs too often is what I feel like is a distraction. Mm-hmm. It's enjoyable. I'm not saying it's not enjoyable. If you go see this, you probably there's a 90. I realize 99.9 chance because you might be 0.1 that doesn't enjoy it, but you might find something to enjoy about it, I guess would be the best way to say it. You may not enjoy the whole movie. You might enjoy the heist. You might enjoy just one character. There's something probably that you can stick with, or you might enjoy James Corden's character, instead of everyone else. Like, there's something that might be there for you as a summer movie, not as it's not the best heist movie you're ever gonna see. There's other great ones that if you really want to, see that be pulled off, then you go watch that. So this one, it was just, I felt like the performances were short. They didn't get a chance to shine. Not everyone. I thought Mindy Kaling was gonna be able to do more, but I felt like she got a little bit on the short end of the stick. Right. It was more of like her name that was used more so than the character. So that would have been nice for some things. I am curious to see more if it goes on. It feels like there's going to be another one. The way the box office did, how it beat out the other ones. Yeah. Not including inflation and all that stuff. But I would want to see another one just for another fun heist film by these characters, with maybe a different stake of like, oh, now they have
where they're like, okay, girls, we gotta do it, we gotta do this now. We need all you guys to pull this one off. It's gonna be even bigger than our last one.
Does Danny come back? There's a twist that Danny is alive, or maybe they need a free Danny. Maybe he's trapped. I don't know. That would be something to just be looking forward to.
Or maybe it'd be more high stakes because like James Corden is like onto them now, so now it's like from the beginning he's like got a watch fly on them. Who knows,
Oh, there's a betrayal. Dun dun dun. All these things happen in like 11, 12, and 13 probably. We're like, this is fresh. Like,
you guys should really go watch the first one.
For the first time, when I've been told to watch a book, we're told we watch their other movies. So 3.5 is going to be my score. So sweet. Hopefully it matches. If you guys were listening, hopefully it matches your score with what we have. If not, feel free to let us know. We'd be more than happy to hear what you guys thought. Positive, negatives, all about it. Maybe you guys want to talk about the realistic stuff that probably won't happen. Just as we probably got a much enjoyment talking about that more so than the actual movie.
I know, right?
But yes, we would love to hear any kind of feedback. And just don't forget, we're on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Team Reel-ists. Team REELISTS. And thank you again for listening to this episode.
Thanks, guys.
We really
Catch you
appreciate
next
it.
time.
Yes, next time. Same place, same time.